just wanna be your disco bitch, your disco bitch. Touch my body.
Let my body
Check.
rock. Let my body rock.
Makeup.
Let my body rock.
I mean, all right. You know what I'm saying? So take a look. Hold on.
Keep sweating when you're on top. Just report.
You small, I hate small people ever since I got chased from Murphy's Bar. You crumb.
Shake it slow. Got the high heel shoes with the.
Michael Briere Incorporated. That's right. Really?
Watch my body rock.
Unless you're sitting next to me, you'll always be winning. Winning.
Feel you breathe. Let your body rock is what you said to me.
Let my body rock. Let my body rock. Watch my body rock.
Let it rock.
Welcome everybody to the Week 10 edition of the Shotgun Sit Down, hosted by me, DJ Mikey P, and
Filling in for the champ, Steve from the Disciples.
not an optical illusion. Kevin's not here.
Nope. He's celebrating his second victory.
You know, it's pretty bad that you have 2 wins and you spend an entire night celebrating. He thought it was Ric Flair. He went to Space Mountain with his wife that night, celebrating his big win over me. And he's happy. He's like, I'm back in it. I'm the champ. I told everybody. It's only a second win. But you know what? It was a very close matchup. We started it off close. And then I got my ass whooped. 204 to 156 by your champ, the 4 Crowns World Champion. Steve, tell me about it.
Well, he had his QB, Carson Palmer, giving him 34. He had Darren Sproles putting up 20. Brandon Lloyd, 13. Vincent Jackson, 39. Dwayne Bowe, 14. Antonio Gates, 23. Robbie the Porn Boy from New England, 24. Texans D, 25. And Bailey from Dallas with 12 points. What do you wear, a bulldozer for a cleat?
I have no idea.
And the Death Lords. Mikey, your Matt Ryan gave you 33. Steven Jackson gave you 15. Fitzgerald, 14. Roddy White, 11. Colston, 10. Witten, 17. Murray, 21. Not so much as a fluke. Cowboys D, 15. Akers, 17 points. What was up with the kickers this week, dude?
Hey, the kickers, they had a little testosterone in their kneecaps or something, because there was a lot of field goals this weekend.
What were they kicking? Beach balls, dude? Nobody could find the end zone, man. Most kickers were in the teens. That's one of the reasons why I lost.
Kickers put up some crazy points. On Kevin's team, it was really Vincent Jackson, Antonio Gates exploded in the last 6 minutes of the game. They just went on a tear. Vincent Jackson, where that has been all season, I do not know, because he exploded this week, and he was long overdue. Like, he's been
But
kept in
isn't that
check.
what he's supposed to do?
Well, he shouldn't be putting up 39 points every week. But yeah, that's the Vincent Jackson that people drafted.
That he drafted.
That's the guy that you want to see. And he finally, all his team lit on fire this week. And it was tremendous. Carson Palmer surprised me, because I looked at Carson Palmer and I said to myself, he'll put up 20. Carson Palmer threw 3 touchdowns. If he didn't throw 2 bonehead picks at the end, you know, his score could have been higher. It was a good game by every single person on Kevin's team. On my side, a couple of letdowns. Roddy White playing the Indianapolis Colts. How do you only get 11 points? How does Julio Jones end up with over 30 and Roddy White gets only 11? But anyways, we'll get into that. So
Very generous Indy.
a very generous Indy, yeah. So Congrats to the champ on his second win. Right now he's 2-6-1,
Yes, sir.
and still in last place in his division. But he's making a case that at the end of the season, when the second half kicks in,
He will be 500.
his team can pour it on. Next matchup. It's the North Dartmouth Disciples against the Little Coach. A heartbreaker. 128-124. Steve, how did you feel going into the game, the weekend of, and then how did you feel at the end?
The weekend, not much confidence, but I thought I was going to pull it off. And then, when the game came, and Michael Vick was kept to a low points, my running back, my bull that's been carrying my team, Forte, puts up 13 points. All right? Even with, what do you have? A couple of fumbles?
Yeah.
All right? So he was deducted points there. All right? Owen Daniels, usually nothing less than 10, gave me 6. Nate Washington, this tit on a bull, gave me 5 points.
Here's the problem I had with that game, and I looked at it, on Sunday, and I'm like, is he serious? Cincinnati, their defense is top 4. Don't get me wrong, their offense is not doing anything, but their defense is top 4. Especially their passing defense. They're ranked number 2 in passing defense in the NFL. Why would you start Nate Washington instead of Brandon Marshall, who's playing the Kansas City Chiefs?
The reason why was because I told you once when I was here as a guest, no matter who it is, if they show me 2-3 weeks of shitty points, I can't chance it. You know what I'm saying? And he had a lot of drop balls. So, I figured I'd put this dude in, and, the news was positive, but he sucked. Michael Bush was great for 20. 49ers D gave me 15. And Nugent gave me 6. Now you go over to Vic. You go over to the Little Coach. Count your blessings, little man. He was kept to 21. Okay? Arian Foster, great game. 25 points. Pierre only gave him 5. I was a little let down. Johnson, 11. Crabtree, which I even looked at for a minute, gave him 10. Finley, 15. Jones, 9. Giants D, 14. And the kicker gave him 15 points. Now, Brady scared the shit out of me because he had 12 points going into the third quarter. Okay? That's the first thing. Then, when it went to Forte's game, and he was like 5 point, boom, 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 in the first couple of minutes. Then the dude disappeared. Then Kev tipped me off that every time they were in the red zone, they took him out of the play. I'm like, do I know the Dallas coach? You know what I mean? Chicago Bears, I'm saying. They got something against me? You're taking out my star running back when they're in the red zone? Come on, dude. And with all the deductions and the kicker having a retarded week, that was a gift.
Well, you gotta look at it this way. You put in Marshall, you win by
Quite a
substantial amount of points.
Yes, but like I said, I couldn't trust him, man. Yeah.
So
He's known to get so many targets and miss 60% of them.
it's
I
that
don't know.
1 week that somebody can burn you.
And oh boy, they burnt me. Got the scars on the fop box to prove it. All right, there, Little Coach.
Next matchup, we have the Short Circuit playing the Coach. 154-137. And honestly, I looked at this matchup and I was like, could go either way between Nuno and the Coach. But I'm like, I think Nuno had enough to win. But for a while, it scared me. For a while, Keats' team was sitting in there and Nuno's team was kind of behind for a while. The coach, Aaron Rodgers, putting up 50 points. Beanie Wells putting up 5. Julio Jones. Julio. Sounds like a gay stripper to me. But Julio Jones putting up 31 points. Miles Austin putting up 7. And this killed Keith. Miles Austin put up 7 points in the first quarter to get hurt and not come back into the game. Now, he's already lost Andre Johnson for most of the season so far. Miles Austin missed already 3 games due to a hamstring injury. Now he re-injures that hamstring. So now the coach is without 2 starting wide receivers that he drafted. It's unbelievable injury-wise what's going on in this league this year, because I've never seen so many hamstrings and so many groin injuries in a season. But anyways, Mario Manningham, 12 points. Jimmy Graham, 13 points. And what sucked for Keith? Darius Hayward-Bay,
0.
a big 0. Carson Palmer did not look his way even once. He knew who his man was, and it was Jacoby Ford, and that's who he went with every single play he could. Eagles defense putting up 10. Lawrence Tynes putting up 6. What about the circuit? Tell me what Nuno's team put up.
The circuit, somebody has to put that fuse out. That's what about the circuit. But Drew Brees, 37. Ray Rice, not that strong, but okay, 19. Jennings, 16. Welker, 23. Baldwin, 6. Tony Gonzalez, 13. LaShawn McCoy, 22. The Saints D, 7. And Josh Brown from St. Louis, gave him 11. Now, look at this, mind you. Beanie Wells put up 5 points, right? Miles Austin, that's when he got hurt, right?
Yeah.
All right. Miles Austin stays in that game. Okay? Stays healthy. Who loses when a quarterback puts up 50 points? I thought Keith was going to go to the circuit breaker box, unplug the bitch, and put Nuno in his spot. I really, really did.
Well,
And then when you get 50 points and then somebody gives you a goose egg, I don't know, dude. Everything's rolling Nuno's way.
we'll get to the standings in a little bit. But right now, we're going to get right to it. The big bad bus facing the Brazilian All-Stars. And just, it was a game. I loved this game. Like, for me, like, I paid attention, obviously, to me and Kevin's game. And me and Kevin's game was close up until the last 6 minutes. But the bus and the All-Stars, to me, had one of the better matchups I liked watching. It was going back and forth between the two. You know, with Gary pulling out a big win, 152 to 141. You know, Gary's team came to play. Phillip Rivers started off horrible. Threw a pick, and he looked like, you know, I didn't think he was going to have a big game. But 48 points, Phillip Rivers. Fred Jackson, below average for Fred Jackson all season, but still, 12 points. Frank Gore, 11 points. He got hurt in that game. Anquan Bolden with 15. A.J. Green with 15. Kellen Winslow with 12. Michael Turner with 14. But the big disappointment on Gary's team, and he still came out with the win, was the Ravens defense, putting up only 9 points. And his kicker, Nick Folk, putting up 13 points.
Damn kickers.
What about the bus?
The bus, man, I am surprised, man, because Eli Manning put up 33 points. Right. Brandon Jacobs, 19. Mike Williams, 10. Did he get hurt?
No, he should be fine.
All right. Mike Wallace, 14. Dez Bryant, 9. Vernon Davis, 6. And the rest of the numbers are up there, man. I don't know how Gary did it. Because the bus is pretty well stacked, man. Nelson, 21. Packers D, 19. The kicker, 10. Crosby. Like, how did he go wrong here? It was them. It was Bryant and Davis that did him in.
The most disappointing fantasy-wise this season, obviously everybody says Chris Johnson. Chris Johnson is the most disappointing fantasy player in general. End of discussion. But when you look position-wise, each position, at the tight end position, is Vernon Davis not a bust this season? He has not had double digits all season. This is a kid that last year was putting up 20 points a game. Off not 20, he was hitting at least 15. And suddenly this year he can't get past 7 or 8. And that's what's killing Kenny, because Kenny starts him every week religiously. And really he has no choice. His backup is Dustin Keller. It's not like it's much of an upgrade. So his guy that he drafted high has not performed for him all year long. Vernon Davis has not had any red zone looks, and he hasn't been consistently getting the 5, 6, 7 catches a game that he was getting last year.
But if Des Bryant and Davis get back on track, that's one dangerous lineup.
Oh yeah, Kenny. No doubt, Kenny's team is dangerous. What killed Kenny this week also is not just you put Hakeem Nicks, his starting wide receiver, in that game instead of being out with an injury, and let Hakeem Nicks put up 20 points on the Pats. Kenny wins that game. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
It's just crazy. The only large margin game was yours and the champs.
Yeah.
Everybody was neck and neck.
So, right now, here's the standings. In the best of the best division. All right. Right now, the Brazilian All-Stars are in first place. Gary's team is in first place at 5-4. The little coach is in second place at 4-5. The Apocalypse Deathlords in third place at 3-6. And the coach in last place at 2-6-1. If the playoffs were to stop today, the coach would be eliminated from the playoffs. Now, as far as the Young Nationals division, sitting all by himself at the top of that division is a short circuit.
8-1.
8-1. Can you believe it's 8-1?
No, I can't.
I did not see that coming. And not at all. The North Dartmouth Disciples are in second place at 6-3.
The Bus next,
Is in third place at 5-4.
and Kev, the champs, 2-6-1.
2-6-1. The world champion. And you know what the really sad part is? And it's depressing for me. He has 2 wins all season. They're both against me. Like, I swear to you, it's not rigged. I'm not trying to help him win. I promise. But yeah, so that's the standings. And like I said, if the playoffs were to stop today for the Young Nationals division, the champ would be eliminated. First time ever. He'd be out of the playoffs.
But still early. Not that early, but it's still early.
As far as playoffs go, we have 5 weeks as of right now. 5 weeks. Week 10, week 11, week 12, week 13, week 14. 15, 16 is playoffs, and then the 17 is the Super Bowl for our league. So keep that in mind, fellas.
You know what?
It's make or break time right now. If you can't get your team together now and start putting together wins, if you're already close to being eliminated in the playoffs, it's over for you. You got to start right now and string together wins.
Do you know Nuno has a chance to beat the best record ever, the King of Kings, which is Kevin's 11-3?
I'm not even sure about that.
Yeah, Kevin quoted that last week.
11-3. Wow.
He has the chance to beat that record. I would have to go undefeated right now to tie his record, but Nuno can beat it.
Oh,
Well, you know,
that's to go the rest of the season undefeated. I don't know about that. But speaking of Nuno, we'll start off with that.
yeah.
The Short Circuit versus the Apocalypse Death Lords. What do you see happening in that game?
Well, what I see is a neck and neck game. And honestly, I want the Death Lords to spank the Short Circuit. But it's going to be close. You can't just go by projections, man. Somebody's going to upset you or get hurt or something like that. But I'm going to go with a huge upset. And the Death Lords by 4.
I sit here and I don't know what the hell to do. I'm honestly considering benching Roddy White so I can put DeMarco Murray in. I really am. And I'm not kidding you. And I need a
True
win.
story.
I need a win. Yeah, true story. I need a win. And Nuno, nothing would make me happier than to send you back to Munchkin Land with a loss. Really, nothing would make me happier. You little 2-foot tall person. I gotta take over for Kevin. Normally it's Kevin ragging on you and I don't say anything, but this week I got him. You little midget. You little kickstand. You little oompa loompa.
But he keeps. Who gave him his only loss?
I think it was Kenny. I think it was the bus that gave him his only loss.
It wasn't Sean.
Nope, I think it was Kenny that gave him his only loss. It was Kenny.
But that's a damn good record. You know what I'm saying? You got it.
You know what they say about good things? They must come to an end. Nuno, sorry. You better follow the Yellow Brick Road, bitch, and go back home. Because I am sending you home with a loss this week.
Those is fighting words, you hear?
Next up,
Yee.
the little coach and the big bad bus. How do you see this rolling out?
I don't know, man. Another neck and neck. Honestly, Kenny is a fighter. I'm going to have to give this one to the bus. He'll make some changes. He'll make it happen. I give it to the bus. You?
I look at it, and it should be, for me, I think it might be a close game. But, you know, me and Kenny were talking. Me and Kenny had a little conversation today. And there might be some pickups made. And perhaps a trade by the end of the week. Not between me and Kenny, but between Kenny and someone else. You know, you never know what's going to happen. But I see Kenny putting a win and coming out with a big win, a statement win, saying, I'm not leaving this division. He's like, I see him coming out with a win.
And he's always been up there, you know what I mean? He beat me for the division title last year.
You know what? What do you think about the coach? And Kevin has already, he has no voice. He spent it all night yelling and screaming about his win with me. He lost his voice. But he's on the computer, hyping up the biggest matchup ever, him versus the coach. What do you see going down in that matchup? Brother versus brother.
Well, honestly, who's the coach missing in his lineup?
He's going to be missing Miles Austin, and he might still be missing Andre Johnson.
All right, so right now he has 8 in his lineup. I see he's always been rooting for his brother to get a win. And I see the big brother doing it to the little brother.
I do not share that optimism. Keith, I feel bad for you because I was on the receiving end of a 50-point ass whooping this week. And I don't see 50 points, but I see there an ass whooping in his future. Because you got Vincent Jackson and Antonio Gates going up against the Raiders. It's not a good sign.
But, like I said, don't sleep on Keith.
I'm not sleeping on Keith, but I look at Kevin's team and
Kevin's had the same team. Now they just woke up.
He gets Cam Newton back this week from his bye week. I think Cam Newton's gonna have a huge game this week. So he puts Cam Newton into his lineup. It's all over.
Yeah, Cam Newton too.
It's
But
all
don't forget,
over.
Keith has Aaron Rodgers, 50 points.
Yeah.
You know what I'm?
But it doesn't matter. But we've already seen it. We've already
we've seen
one
it.
player put up huge points. But if you don't have nobody else to put into your team, what is he running on right now? He's running on Aaron Rodgers and Julio Jones.
Yeah.
Miles Austin, Andre Johnson, I'm not going to play. That's devastating. Listen to me. If Andre Johnson is healthy playing, Miles Austin is healthy playing, I'll give the win to Keith. But with those two guys both missing, I don't see it. I don't see Kevin's team, who finally caught on fire, suddenly losing.
Well, they got identical records right here, right? 2-6-1.
Their last matchup was a tie.
And yeah. And like I said, I see something similar, neck and neck. But you see a spanking.
I see a spanking.
Well,
Once the lineup is official, we'll see. So we're going to go down to the last matchup.
good luck to both of them anyways.
Listen to me. Kevin, Keith's in my division. I root for you, Kevin. Put an ass whooping on him. I will sit there with my pom-poms. Yay, yay. Kevin, he's our man. If he can't do it, no, I'll sit there. I will cheer for your ass. Beat Keith. I need Keith out. And you know what? It is personal, Keith. You've been talking a lot of trash. And we will have the coach on the show next week. Just letting everybody know. The coach will be our guest next week. But yeah, Keith, it's personal, Keith. And I remember being so close in losing to Keith and getting knocked out of the playoffs by Keith. For Keith to advance to go to the championship game. Yeah.
So it is personal.
Oh, it's personal between me and Keith. Ain't no doubts about it. With me and Kevin, it's just business. Me and Keith, it's personal. So we're going to go on to our last matchup.
But Kev, now, with his team healthy and awake, he's pretty dangerous.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. He can make it real interesting in that division real quick, especially when he decides to play Nuno again.
Oh, that's what he's waiting for. That's what he's waiting for. I think he wants to put out the fuse. And when Kevin, I don't know, man. But if Kevin does put out Nuno's fuse, and that is the last loss, Nuno, that victory is going to be blown up all over the web. He'll put posters on billboards on the highway just to let that shit be known that he blew the short circuit's fuse. Now next.
Get into that last matchup. Tell me about it. Tell me what you think about playing the Brazilian All-Stars. The North Dartmouth Disciples going up against the Brazilian All-Stars. What do you think about that?
Well, I don't underestimate Gary's team at all. You know what I'm saying? And I was nervous the first time I played him. Yeah, I beat him. But, I'm going in the same way. I don't know. I don't underestimate him. You know what I'm saying? So, it's going to be close. Obviously, I want to keep my position by myself in second place. You know what I'm saying? But Gary's not just some speed bump. You know what I mean? I got to take that dude seriously. I got to see who he's playing, and I got to try to match and do the best to put the best roster I can, man. Gary, I don't know, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, the standings are different in both divisions, but you know what I'm saying? But Gary, just like your team, you can't take him lightly neither.
No, you can't.
No, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I'm not even gonna call that.
I'll call it. I look at it and I see Gary's team. They're playing hard. And they can put up points. Make no doubt about it. Gary's team can put up points. But I see the All-Stars falling just a little bit short this week against the North Dartmouth Disciples. It's not going to be a big win. Maybe 3 points the most. But I see the North Dartmouth Disciples, STP, coming out with a win.
Well, I don't know.
But we're going to get into something right now. By the time everyone sees this show, it'll be Saturday, Sunday. There is Thursday night football this week, boys.
Yes, there is.
Okay? If your team is not in, if you have players that play Thursday and that you didn't want in your roster, tough shit. You're going to get a 0 for them. And I will say that as not the league manager, but with my position in the league, you're going to get a 0 if you put a player in that's pay attention.
So basically, you got till tomorrow. Before
You got till
kickoff.
tomorrow to start setting your roster. If you have players that are playing on Thursday that you don't want to play, take them out or put them in, however you want to do it, by tomorrow.
So basically, they're gonna see this late. But the warning is, do your shit tonight.
Oh yeah, don't wait till Sunday and stop picking up people. Do your shit tonight.
Because after Thursday, every position's locked.
Yeah. And the Thursday night game, big game.
Chicago.
No. Chicago.
Yeah.
The Raiders against San Diego. That's a Thursday night game.
I could have sworn Forte was playing Thursday.
So what we're gonna do this week, we're gonna have, normally we have, Kevin's Bet Your Mama's House picks. But what we're gonna do this week is a first ever for the shotgun sit down. We're gonna have the shotgun sit down, 1st and 10 starts of the week. All right, and pretty much it's 2 players from every position, 2 quarterbacks, 2 wide receivers, 2 tight ends that are a must stop for your team, and 1 defense, 1 kicker.
All right. First, can I start this, Mikey?
What's up, man?
First QB, a must. Aaron Rodgers.
On your part,
Yes, a must. That dude is a monster. But as far as the second quarterback, Cam Newton, ladies and gentlemen.
Cam Newton. That's your for the quarterbacks. Well, I have to agree with him. For my 1st and 10 starts, Aaron Rodgers all day long. But how can you not stop Phillip Rivers against the Raiders? The Raiders. Phillip Rivers. Did anybody notice what he did this week?
Who's Newton facing?
Listen to me. Doesn't matter who Newton's facing. Anyways, we will agree to disagree on who our 1st and 10 starts should be.
Well, see, I overlooked Brady because he went from 50 to just about pushing 30.
Listen to me. Listen to me. I am not a big Patriots fan. I like my Carolina Panthers, but the Patriots are my second team. Don't even get me started. Actually, you know what? He got me started. We're gonna stop this segment for 1 second. How the hell do you lose that game? How the hell do you, a Patriots franchise, Tom Brady, lose to the Giants? They lost their starting 2 corners. They lost their 2 backup corners. They lost 5 cornerbacks this season. How can you not throw on the Giants? How can you not dismantle the Giants? You know what? A play that pissed me off, and I don't mind the team losing. I don't. But how do you get it for the Patriots? How do you get pass interference at the goal line when somebody's driving up the field with seconds left to win a game? You have a minute left in the game total. How do you go and get pass interference? Listen to me, I want to play tight, but I'm not going to trip up another player. I'm not going to even touch another player in the end zone. I'm not giving nobody 1st and goal with a minute left in the game so they can just run in and get a touchdown. I'm not. Or throw it. I think it was a Jake Ballard pass from Eli Manning that won them that game.
Yeah.
That's sad. And that pissed me off to no end, and I wanted to break something when I was watching that game. But anyways.
Next position, Mike.
Yeah, next position. We're going to the running backs now. For me, my 1st and 10 starts, Willis, what you talking about? McGahee. That's right. Willis McGahee going up against the Chiefs. And then, my boy, DeMarco Murray. That's right. And for the people like Kevin Carrero, who said DeMarco Murray was a fluke, 21 points last week. the kid is showing that he has the talent to be a starter in this league. So yeah, DeMarco Murray up against the Bills. The Bills defense has surrendered a lot of touchdowns to running backs this season. So those are my two.
Well, I'm going to have to go with my boy, Forte. Is a must stop. And my second, let me see. Unfortunately, Ray Rice. Even though that benefits the circuit we all want to blow. No, but you know what I'm saying? And I don't know, man, but I'm gonna give it to Forte and Rice.
For wide receivers, you might as well go with the trend. Vincent Jackson, where have you been all season? Vincent Jackson exploded this week, and he's frustrated. He was frustrated all season, and he finally put up the big numbers. And I see him on the Thursday Night Football going up against the Raiders and doing the same exact thing. I'm not saying he's going to put up 39 points, but he's going to put up close to 30. And for my second receiver, I'm going to give it to Des Bryant. The Bills have not been able to stop anybody all season because all their games have been shootouts. It's been just them scoring more points than their opponents. Not that their defense is great. Des Bryant, all by his lonesome, the only person he's got to share targets with is Jason Witten. So I think Des Bryant's going to have a huge game against the Bills. And those are my two starters at wide receiver.
My two, I'm going to have to agree with Mike on one of them. Vincent Jackson, now that he's back on his game. Well, we'll see if he is. But with numbers like that, I'm assuming that he is. And Foster would be my second.
Foster.
I'm sorry, I looked at the wrong teammate. We're looking at wide receivers, right?
Yep.
Well, Julio.
Wow. Now, see, as being an owner of Roddy White, this kid is starting to piss me off. But Julio Jones, I can see that being an option this week. I really can. Moving on to the tight ends. I will say it all day long. I don't care that it's playing the Bucks. Owen Daniels is my starter this week for tight end. I don't care what league you're in. It doesn't matter. Owen Daniels is a must start this week. I think the Bucks will put up points, and with no Andre Johnson, I think they're going to have to look Owen Daniels' way. And of course, you know what? He's an every week starter. I don't care what team you play, Jimmy Graham. Because the kid cannot be stopped, and Drew Brees loves him. He will go to him before he goes to his wide receivers. So, Jimmy Graham is my other tight end.
My tight end, I'm going to agree with you, which is my starter, Owen Daniels. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go with him. That's and may your words be heard, Mike. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm gonna say my second starter, Witten.
Good pick. I like that.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm not taking nothing away from Gates. You know what I'm saying? Because he's back on his game now. But it'll be a toss-up. But I'd still go with Witten from consistency. You know what I'm saying?
Next up is our defenses. Only going to pick one. The Eagles defense up against the Cardinals. Iffy quarterback situation. Will Kevin Cobb play or not? Larry Fitzgerald all by his lonesome. And Larry, if you're not playing Namdi, you're playing Asante. If you're not playing Asante, you're playing a combination of, Rogers, Cromartie, and somebody else. And Rogers Cromartie does want to play his old team. So I see the Eagles defense coming out really strong against the Cardinals.
Really?
Yep.
Well, I don't know about all that, but you know what? I'm gonna go with the Texans.
The Texans? As a must-stop defense?
Must stop. Go with San Fran.
You got to pick one. You can't pick. You're picking one defense here. Which defense are you going to go with? Which one are you going to put your money on to lead somebody's fantasy team? Because you know there's some people watching right now.
I know.
There's like people.
All right. Who's
people
the Texans
watching this.
playing?
Texans are playing the Bucks.
And San Fran's playing the Giants.
San Francisco is playing the Giants. Yes.
San Fran, ladies and gentlemen. San Fran.
He just flip flopped on me. You heard it here. Hey, for all you people who listen to Steve, you know, you people in those other leagues, you know, not anybody in this league because you know, but those people in those other leagues, you know, who need help with fantasy, you know, if you listen to him, hey, God bless you. All right.
And you're gonna pick the Philly defense?
No, I'm saying I'm not saying as an insult. I'm just telling you that if they're listening to you, may they hear your words. You know, I'm just saying.
All right.
Kickers, ladies and gentlemen, if I'm gonna go with one kicker, listen to me. I will go with the highest scoring offense and the highest scoring quarterback, which is Aaron Rodgers. So obviously, I'm gonna go with the Green Bay kicker. I'm gonna go with Mason Crosby in a dome against Minnesota. Mason Crosby all day long.
I have to agree with you.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen, on the first ever King of Kings, 1st and 10. And everybody, enjoy Sunday Night Football. Any closing words for the people at home?
Yeah. If anybody has any ties to the NFL, can you please tell them to give Matt Forte the ball more often, please? You know? And the kicker for Chicago, okay? Give him the right size shoe. That damn cocksucker's foot was out of control and made me lose the game. Piece of shit. And the head coach got a bone to pick with you, boy. You know what I mean?
You don't like you have no love for Lovey?
No love for Lovey, not when he takes out Forte in the red zone, man. That's my words. Chicago, I'm after your management right there. And I know I ain't no, personality like Champ guy, but, this is the Disciples, Stevie the Disciples, DJ Mikey P, signing off. Shotgun sit down from the King of Kings, League of Champions.
Peace.
Peace.
Isn't that